Hello, viewers. This is Attorney Nuresh Gehi, and welcome to the show brought to you by Gehi Associates and Green Card with Gehi. We're going to talk about the year in immigration, and then we're going to take some questions and answers from our viewers. So this show is live. You feel free to ask us any questions you may have, and we'll be happy to kind of answer them for you. So let's talk about the year in immigration. What happened this whole year in immigration is something very important for all of us to know. And we'll make sure that we try to give you a briefing of what happened. I must say that this year was a very difficult year for immigrants. I've seen a lot of draconian immigration laws that were kind of implemented this year. And they were implemented by means of executive orders in the United States. So the most important thing which I noticed is that, as you all rightly know, that President Donald Trump had passed close to 400 executive orders in the United States. Now, out of the 400, a lot of them were geared towards dismantling the immigration system of the United States. I use the word dismantling is because most of these laws were very conservative and they were they were very much against immigrants. So, what kind of laws were passed? We'll talk about that a little bit. And then after that, if you have any questions, I'll be taking your questions and answers since the show is live. So, what really happened over here was that last year, as you've seen, there were many bans that were imposed. And, the year started off with stopping people from coming into the United States. Even when COVID came into play, a lot of people were stuck abroad. So that was just basically the beginning of it. Then the other thing what happened was very much disheartening was a change that was brought about in the H-1B system. And, everything that was done was with an intent to disturb the H-1B program in the United States. And in a sense, you've seen that the prevailing wages went up. And to add fuel to fire, the worst thing that ever happened was that the lottery system became extremely cumbersome, became very difficult for employers, and the wages went up so much that employers were unable to hire talent. Why is this talent useful in America? It's a common sense question. If you have a talented pool, every country thrives. But if you don't have a talented pool, the country cannot thrive in terms of its economy. So even Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and all these companies have said that if we want the United States to be a prosperous country, we need to make sure that we hire the best talent from all over the world. So by stopping the H-1B visa program or restricting it, to alarming proportions was something that was exactly a serious blow even to the economy of the United States. Of course, there were many restrictionist movements in the country who say that exactly, well, H-1B holders are taking away jobs and the Americans don't have jobs. Please go and check it out, folks. That may not be the reality. As I said, even if it is, it's not to a substantial extent. There are very few jobs that might be going, the abuse is very little compared to what people think it to be. So we've seen that the H-1B was very much impacted in the year 2020. There's some more disheartening news. The diversity visa lottery program was closed down for some countries. That was something that was, was stopping a diversity from growing in the country. And the major blow came in the world of political asylum. They made asylum very difficult. And as an experienced immigration attorney who's been doing immigration for many years, and I've also lectured, on occasions, is that I must say that they made the life of asylees very difficult. And as you could see, that people from Mexico were not allowed to come into the country, even when they expressed a fear of persecution. The Mexico border was very much stopping people from entering. And even if these people did express a fear, they were turned down at the border. There are countless stories. There's another bad thing which I've seen last year was that the number of detentions in immigration went up tremendously. And folks, I don't know how many of you know about this, that these jails in America, they're run by private companies. I'm going to repeat the statement. A lot of these jails in America are run by private companies. So when a person is put into an immigration jail, are you ready for this, folks? When a person is put in immigration jail, these big corporations get close to 150 to $200 per day to detain a person. That is the amount of money they make behind per detainee. So the question is that it's for people of the United States to understand whether detaining people is a fair thing to do or whether it's not a fair thing to do. And according to me, if you want to arrest someone, put him on an ankle bracelet. You're saving money. And this is commonly referred to as taxpayers' money. And a lot of these people who are in jail did not even have criminal records. Yes, they did not have criminal records. And some of these people are married to American citizens. Yes, they are married to American citizens. And unfortunately, just because they had a deportation order, they were picked up and they were put in jail. So this is what I've seen from the world of immigration. Also, there were too many quotas in place, 65,000 for H-1B visa holders, and everything was looked upon in terms of H-1Bs under a microscope. As far as the H-1B visas were concerned, it was a very restrictionist movement. We've seen a lot of visa denials, and this is what we've seen in immigration. In terms of people who were getting married to US citizens, if there was an issue about their legal entry in the US, even if the law was in their favor, immigration used to take a very conservative approach and would try to deny those cases. So the sad reality is that we've seen a lot of restrictionist movement in immigration in the United States. So folks, since this is a live show, if you have any questions, you can email us at info@gehilaw.com. Or you can also kind of, start, asking your questions on Facebook, or you can ask us your question, on a live show at this time on the chat screen. So I'm also going to tell our host, that's Yogesh, to see that if there are any questions, he can type, or we can ask our viewers to email it to us, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. One very important thing which I want to mention to our viewers is if you're applying for your spouse, it's still good for you. Start applying. Those things are still going on. Sponsor your fiance, your spouse, or your relatives. Those things are very, very important. So there's a question here from a viewer. I'm from Iran. I applied for a K1 visa in March, and I still haven't got an RFE or basically a notice of action. Want to get an idea of current timeline under COVID. So you're looking at basically there will be some time. These cases are taking time. So the notice of action you applied, recently. So you're looking at the average time for the processing of a fiance visa is around 9 to 12 months. So in a period of 9 to 12 months, you should be able to kind of get a response from immigration. So folks, as I said, that's one. Secondly, there have been people who have their master calendar hearings or their individual hearings coming up before immigration judges. So just make sure that before you have your master calendar hearing, or but that means that you should not be missing the date. Because if you fail to appear before the immigration judge on your master calendar hearing, the sad news for you is that you can be ordered deported in absentia. So that is something that is not really good. So better be careful and make sure that you do appear for your master calendar. Needless to say that if you have an individual hearing coming up, which means if you have a final hearing coming up before immigration, make sure that you're fully prepared, you're present in court, and make sure that you fight your case to the best of your ability. So folks, these are issues that I wanted to bring to your attention. So we spoke to our viewers today about the whole year in immigration. We've seen a lot of restriction in this movement. The only silver lining this year was the per country quota has been abolished. Still, the president has to sign it. So that was a silver lining. But other than that, we've seen a lot of restrictionist asylum laws. Then we've seen a lot of changes, unfortunately, in the H-1B visa program. And those laws were extremely draconian. Then the diversity visa lottery program, again, that was ended for some countries. And of course, needless to say, that you all are aware of the fact that people were stuck up in foreign nations and were not allowed to travel to the United States, because of COVID and whatnot. So the good news is that we have a new president, that's Joe Biden, and he has promised us that he's going to change the laws. Try to change the laws in the United States. But remember, do not expect overnight miracles over here, especially because there are many other things, especially like COVID, the economy on the agenda for the president. But he has told us that he's going to look into DACA and he's trying to make sure that DACA recipients should have a path to permanent residence or citizenship in the United States. He's also looking at the DAPA program, which is deferred action for for parents of or DACA holders. Then still, I believe the guest worker program is going to be on the table. So, folks, today's show was about the year in immigration with Attorney Gehi on Green Card with Gehi. So today's show is the year in immigration with Attorney Gehi on Green Card with Gehi. We will be back again with our viewers next week, same time, same place. Keep watching this program, Green Card with Gehi. And if you have to reach us, very simple, call us at 718-263-5999 or email us at info@gehilaw.com or visit our website at www.gehilaw.com. Thank you.